Okay, this is a quick video. Kind of a goodbye video, if you want to call it that. This is Kelsey. Everybody knows her. Kelsey and I spent the day together. And first thing this morning, Kelsey ran outside to go to the bathroom. And without even peeing, she took a poo, which was about the size of one of my poos. And that's a little bit irregular because usually she pees and pees and pees and then needs to run around a little bit and then take a poo. But again, this was a really big poo and there was no pee to pee after, but puppy doesn't normally run out and take a shit. So that got my attention, number one. Anyway, we got in the car and she was extremely happy. I mean, like, jumped on her side and instantly jumped over to my side and sat on my lap and started licking my chin and nuzzling against me, which was probably the most adorable thing because I think I missed her as much as she missed me. So that was good. It felt really good. And then she sat in her spot and we drove home. Everything seemed to be good and happy, and she was very jumpy and smiling and active, which is good. And once we got home, I did my own thing, and she jumped up on the bed and went almost instantly. I gave her a piece of, it's a butternut cookie for dogs. I gave her one of those, and she ate it. I think Louise gave her breakfast, but anyway, she had a cookie and jumped up in bed and went right to sleep. I mean, wasting her time, which again just made me curious if she got any sleep the night before or had been sleeping. You know, she's a puppy. Dogs need to sleep more than people, that's for sure. So she was excited, but I think she was tired, and she slept most of the morning until we went to the doctor. At which time, when we got up and she was going somewhere, she got very, very excited, and like always, jumped in the car, went to her seat, lied down, I got in, and she instantly jumped on top of me and was very reluctant to move, and of course I made her move because it's hard to back out with her on my lap. So anyway, off we go. She winds up sitting in her seat, looking forward, paws forward, which is about as adorable as you can get. So we get to the doctor, and of course, she is a superstar. You know, she's just as friendly as can be, and it's really hard to ignore. And that's one of the things that is so special about her is she's not just a dog. She's a personality, as you can see. So we had a good time with the doctor. You know, she was doing her thing, running for president, and then we stopped by Target to CVS to pick up a prescription. And status quo, she knows her way around CVS and was about as cooperative as I've ever seen her. I mean, she just walked right next to me and didn't go off in her own direction, didn't want to stop and smell anything, was not interested in eating things off the floor or sniffing too much, which is good because that's a sign that she wasn't hungry. But also a concern for me that she ate an awful lot at some point in the last 24 hours, 48 hours, and didn't poo. Or didn't get the opportunity to go potty long enough for her digestive system to work up a poo. So, anyway, yeah. So we go back home, and she took a nap instantly. So again, I think she was tired. She went right to bed. There she is. Hi there. And slept a good part of the day, which I let her go whenever she's here. I like her to do her own thing, and she jumps right up in bed and gets on her pillow and out like a light. So, fast forward, I do my own thing for a couple hours, she sleeps, we go for a walk, and sure enough, as soon as we get out the door and over to 2nd Street, she takes another poo. A big poo. This one was bigger than the first poo from this morning. So that got me concerned because I've never seen her. I mean, I'm concerned, but I've never seen her poo that much, that big, in that kind of order. And again, she didn't do a lot of peeing. She was pooing, so again, I don't know. It looks like she hasn't been out, and I mean, has been taken out to potty, but I don't think she's been walked, and I certainly don't think she's had the time to let her digestive thing do its thing. She usually needs to run a few minutes or chase the ball for a second before she gets ready to poo, and it doesn't happen instantly, but these 2 times it did. So, I was happy to see that. Her spirits are still up. So, we get home, and, there's some other things that were going on, but, so she resorted to her bed, and I started to watch TV, and, while we were gone at the walk, my phone rang, of course, which is odd because there was no message, and it just typically seems like my phone rings when I'm not here, or whatever. Anyway, let's fast forward. So this evening, I wanted to comb her down, I was going to comb her down, but before I did that, I checked on her eye boogers. So let's see how they're looking. They're looking much better. There's still some over there. This took me literally half an hour at the fastest. I had to do it twice. I've never seen this dog have eye boogers like that. As a matter of fact, they were so dramatic. They came all the way down the side of her face, down to here, almost into her nose, and big clumpy globs. And that's about the worst that I've ever seen him as well. What really upset me was, and not that this was upsetting, it was a bummer. She had her ribbon in, which is always a big hit with the fans. There's the ribbon right there. And for whatever reason, Louise puts these ribbons on super, super tight, and I understand why. But it has to be annoying, and for her at some point, I can tell this ribbon's been in there for a couple days, and when I started to comb her, it came out a little bit, and I helped it out because I wanted to comb her forehead. Well, come to pass, the ribbon was on there so tight that she has a nice little dent in the middle of her head. I took a picture of it, but it's there. And it took me a couple minutes just to comb out the ploof of hair where the ribbon was. So what that tells me is certainly the ribbon had been in there too long. It was definitely way too tight because, she had a bump on her head. And was very happy to see it go, let's put it that way. She shook it around and tried to comb her own hair and fluff it up, and again, it took a couple minutes just to get it to get it to go straight again, and I wound up using her little eyebrow comb to comb it out because, believe it or not, that little poof of hair that her ribbon was on was stuck tight. Looked like a unicorn. I think I took a picture of it anyway, so you can see that it was on there good. So anyway, we took that off, combed it out. You can still see there. There's kind of a little dent where her hair is kind of matted down, but we'll get rid of that in time. What else? She's been licking her coochie a bit, but her face looks so much better. We combed out her ears, combed out her jowls, and how soft they are. You can see her eyes look real nice now. There are no boogers. Comb them back so you can see them. You can kind of see on the forehead a little bit where that stupid ribbon was. Right there. I mean, come on. That's just unreal. And I can still feel it. So, anyway. Maybe I'll show this to Louise and hopefully convince her that ribbons are to be worn part-time and certainly nothing that puppy needs to live in. I mean, people don't live in their clothes, and it's just for ornamentation purposes, and it's really a vanity exercise, I think, for the owner. But she seems pretty happy. She didn't really want to eat all day, which was interesting, I guess because she food. She didn't follow me around, chasing me in the kitchen, honing over me, or hovering around me, which she's gotten much better doing around here since I don't feed her every time I get up. She thinks she's getting fed, but now she's used to the fact that I get up to go pee, I get up to get a beer, I get up to change the channel, and I think she's kind of hit that risk-reward threshold where she's only going to get up if she's being offered. So she finally, around 10 o'clock, she had interest in eating, and she had a small bowl of kibble and a little bit of a treat on top. So all is well. Now we're trying to go to bed. She looks pretty happy. That's her red pillow. The exciting and sad thing about it is, since this morning, she really hasn't left me leave her eyesight, which is one of the things that's so endearing about her to me is, whenever we're together, she has to be right there. Whether I'm walking, talking, in the bathroom, on the phone, in the bed, tying my shoes. She never really goes anywhere, and she's not getting fed from it. I think she's just, I think you've just gotten to that point where, anyway, it's a very special bond, and it's nothing like any puppy I've ever had. So anyway, she's got a full comb out. Her ears are nice and done. They're very soft, fluffy. Her tail's done. Her coat's combed out. You can kind of see the sheen coming back. She looked a little ratty this morning. Not to anybody's fault, but I can definitely tell that she's been in the house more than she needs to be, or more than she should be, which is okay. I just think that running puppy down to the courtyard for a 30-second pee or a 20-minute, throw the ball once or twice and, call it a day. That's cool. I mean, it's not gonna kill her. However, this dog really likes to go out and sniff and walk on the beach, and she's very into it, and that's her thing. That's what dogs do. They sniff. And there's only so much you can do in the courtyard at the shores, as great as it is and convenient as it is. This one deserves a good, 45 minutes, an hour a day in a different direction, smelling different things, experiencing other dogs, seeing other people. She's such a people person that's the funnest thing about taking her out is she will say hi, almost to a fault, to anybody, especially kids. And when she stands up on her hinds, it's just an attention getter. And of course, it's adorable, but it really shows a lot of character and what a fun, unique, playful animal she is. Louise mentioned that she was itching. She hasn't been itching too much. She's been licking her coochie a little bit, but really, since we started to comb her, she's been all into giving herself a bath and, of course, her red pillow. She's just adorable. Want to say hi? Say hi. I'm gonna miss you. Say hi. Okay, so that's kind of the update for today. I'm gonna go to bed now. Dusty, you wanna go to bed? It's gonna be the last night together. I love you, puppy.